Thanks, Sim. So it's just after 7 o'clock now. Top story at this hour. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has posted on X that Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool is no longer welcome in the United States of America. Rubio called the South African envoy a race-baiting politician who hates America and hates President Donald Trump. In his social media post, the U.S. top diplomat said they had nothing to discuss with Rasool and considered him persona non grata. All right, so for the latest, we're going to be joined on the line by SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. Sophie, good morning. Thank you for making time. I mean, just looking at the developments overnight, perhaps you could unpack persona non grata, the implications at large for SA and USA relations as we speak.
There's huge implications. We are told that Ebrahim Rasool was called in at the State Department to come and explain, and we get information that he has been told to leave the United States of America in 72 hours. We know that when you are being declared a persona non grata, when you arrive at the airport, you are either being sent back immediately, you don't even touch the ground in terms of that country, or if you are in that country, you are often being given 24 hours to leave. But because to arrange flying back to South Africa was not going to be possible in 24 hours. I think it is for that reason the State Department took a decision to give him 72 hours. That speaks to a serious tension because as a senior diplomat, you represent your president, you represent your country. So the hostility is directed at the country because you are the face and the voice of the country in a foreign country. That is why if someone decides to seek refuge in a foreign nation, it can be a consul general or it can be an embassy, he cannot or she can't be arrested because the ground there is regarded as a foreign land. And therefore, this is a serious matter. But above all, the tension between South Africa and the United States is quite intense, even though South Africa is saying this is not from their side, this is from the U.S. side. But I want to quickly, a very short statement released by the presidency a few minutes ago, hardly 3 or 2 minutes ago. It reads thus: the presidency has noted the regrettable expulsion of South Africa's ambassador to the United States of America, Mr. Ebrahim Rasool. The presidency urges all relevant and impacted stakeholders to maintain the established diplomatic decorum in their engagement with the matter. In other words, the Rasool matter. South Africa remains committed to building a mutual beneficial relationship with the United States of America. End of quote. This is the statement that was released a few minutes ago, and we are going to get a voice note soon from Vincent Mokoena, the president's spokesperson. In our next bulletin, we will have that voice note. That's the situation with Ebrahim Rasool.
Okay, Sophie, thank you for also speaking to the response from South Africa as well. I just want to look at the management of rhetoric, of misinformation and disinformation, misrepresentation, perhaps in relation to bills that were signed, the incorrect interpretations as well. Help us understand that that management as well as really where to from here with regards to that that's unfolding.
Well, we know that the presidency has indicated that they will send a delegation, envoys, to go and meet with the officials of the State Department, but also perhaps seek an audience with all relevant stakeholders in the United States of America, in the Senate, in the Congress, the think tank, and other people's business. But they are saying they are still ensuring that they have something, a document or points of discussions around that, because what South Africa doesn't want is to go to America and explain itself as if it's a school child who has been called in by a headmaster to come and explain the mischief, but rather to go and engage with the U.S. to say, you have concerns here, this is a position, and this is our way forward, where you can have a give and take, particularly as it relates to trade relations, because it's quite clear that South Africa might be excluded from AGOA, and South Africa is bracing itself for that. And that would be the approach. But secondly, South Africa told us, the presidency, that they feel that President Trump is still setting up a full complement of his cabinet and relevant people. And therefore, when you go there, you have to ensure that you speak to all relevant people. But we've seen other heads of states already going to Trump and speaking to Trump directly. So maybe the question should be why you can't even send the vice president to try and seek audience with the vice president of U.S. I'm talking about the deputy president. That's what we use in South Africa.
Yeah.
Or send the Minister of International Relations to engage his counterpart, Marco Rubio, who is the State Secretary of the United States of America. And therefore, those are the issues perhaps. And now it begins to dawn to us that maybe they are not getting that response when they are trying to get in touch with the State Department. As you heard Sharon Bryce indicating that the ambassador was struggling to really get an appointment with the most senior person to go and clarify these issues.
All right, Sophie, thank you. We're monitoring those developments rather closely. I know there are more questions and answers at this point, but thank you for joining us at this hour. We'll continue to monitor those developments as it unfolds. International news editor Sophie Mokoena unpacking the latest there. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has posted on X that Ambassador Ebrahim Rasool is no longer welcome in the United States of America. We're looking at the implications at large and also just the response from South Africa and really where to from here.